you study evolution?
Okay.
They do study evolution.
No, he's asking
Did you
if you
study
do.
evolution? Did you? Because
Do
you
I
said that
study
if
evolution?
you, yeah, you said that we have to study it to understand it. So
Yeah,
how do you know that?
so-
How do you know that if we studied it, we would find out that it's bullshit?
Yeah, so throughout education, I did not study evolution because my teachers taught it to me through a creationist point of view. But when I got to college, w- okay, when I got to college, the majority of people who I knew were Christians. Well, not the majority. Some people believe in creationism, but a lot of them believed in evolution. So I just recently started looking into it and talking to professors as well about evolution. And every
And
time I
does
hear
this
evidence,
constitute you studying it?
no, I'm saying I'm just now beginning to study it. But every time I have to have the facts presented to me for why evolution is good, they say like, well, we observe beaks changing. Like they always say like the same stupid stuff.
Oh,
And the
shit.
evidence for it.
You
So-
haven't
how do you
really
know it's
studied
stupid,
it
though?
then.
So how do you know it's stupid? Yeah, it's life. How do you
Yeah.
know it's stupid?
Because every
Like if we
form
explain
of
to you the mechanisms,
evolution
if we
is-
explain to you the mechanisms of evolution, just a second, it's life. If we explain to you the mechanisms of evolution, you wouldn't even grasp it in the first place to make the judgment that it's stupid or not. You wouldn't grasp it. You simply do not have the facilities to, because you haven't gone through the academic process of learning biology. It's
Yeah,
just
you
something
guys
you wouldn't
all
grasp. How are you making the judgment? How are you making the judgments that it's a stupid argument, or that studying it is going to lead you away from evolution when you haven't done the process yourself?
Yeah, I think from the basic knowledge that I have about evolution through microevolution and people just saying it's on a broader scale and they're translating it to 4.8
There is no such thing
billion-
as that.
when they're translating it to 4.8 billion years for the entirety of how old the Earth is, I think that's absolutely stupid. Like, there's no way.
How is that stupid?
There
Can you-
is no way.
Can you
that
describe
people
evolution
are-
in your own words?
Yeah,
It's life. Can you describe evolution in your own words?
Yeah, evolution is the process of organisms developing into more complex organisms.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, I know that's not like the
Exactly.
exact
Like
definition.
you're unable. No, it is not even close. You're unable to define the term itself in the first place, and then you're coming up expecting to be able to debate it and tell us whether it's a good argument or a bad argument. For example, when the host brought up ERVs, you didn't even know what they were, and yet you have quote unquote looked into evolution.
No,
Like,
that's
how
not
are
what I
you-
said. I said
Like,
I
it's
just
the
looked
case of
into
Dunning-Kruger.
evolution. I said I'm
You called
just
it
now-
dumb. You said it is dumb. You said that studying it is going to lead you away from it when you do not even know the basics. You do not
That's
even
not what I
know
said.
any of the evidence. You said it. That is literally what you said. You said studying it is going to lead you away from it because it's stupid.
No, I said if you looked at it through a critical eye, you might.
So-
And have you?
That is
Have
how
you?
scientists do science.
So 95% or more of biologists claim to be non-theists. This is a very high percentage. But are you aware that, most people that go into sciences did believe in a God at one point? And so I've got a lot of friends that I grew up with. I was from a small town. Some of us went into the sciences, some of us not. And all of them came out on the other end. I have one friend that actually went to school for marine biology, and he's not a believer either. But he
thing about people who went into science.
But he-
and atheist and
But he all what? What I'm saying is, as a percentage, you are way, way more likely to go into biology or the sciences as being a believer and coming out being a non-believer, because that's the trend that we have. So I guess my question is, like, when we have all these biologists getting trained, and all of them, they go through their training and they're like, yeah, I don't see a God here. All the evidence points to the contrary. Me as a non-professional, I went to school for biblical studies and electrical engineering. Me as a non-professional who didn't study biology, why would I say, listen, these 95% of biologists just got it wrong, but this one guy on the internet actually got it right, and he didn't take any biology classes, but I'm sure he nailed it.
Yeah, I think that there's a verse in the Bible that said they worship and serve the creature rather than the creator.
This is
And I
what
think-
So they're
flat
evil.
earthers say. It's verbatim what they say. They're the same arguments. I really want to know why you have a problem with 4.5 billion years of time being a thing. Where were we going with that?
Yeah, I just think that there's no way to estimate that kind of timeline when the most known civilizations are only thousands of years old.
We don't tell
I think
time by known archaeological sites. We can see billions of light years, for example.
Yeah. Also, there are two settlements currently being excavated in Turkey that both date all the way back to the 10th and the 12th century BCE. So, 10 and at least 10 and 12,000 years old, plus the two that we're in right now. So,
we're getting-
14,000 years ago.
We're getting double the age of the biblical age of the earth. Tree ring data goes back. We have uninterrupted lines of tree ring data that go back tens of thousands of years. I can get you an exact number pretty soon.
I mean, when God
Yeah.
created the earth, he created it with age, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That is a claim that I would like to hear substantiated rather than just proclaimed.
Actually,
Yeah, so
when he
in the
made
garden-
when he made the earth, trees weren't on it yet.
The tree
Trees
of
came
life-
after the earth was made.
the tree of life.
Do you think the tree of life is still here?
I think that the tree of life was fully grown. Otherwise, it wouldn't have any fruits on it.
But
So I
do,
do
you
that-
think it's still here? Do you know
No.
where it's at? Okay, we're talking about trees that we know are on the earth, and we know there are tree ring data that goes back thousands of years before Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but I don't think that's. I mean, just doing it off tree rings is not very reliable as well.
You
Why?
can do ice core, carbon dating.
Weather patterns.
We've been studying trees for tree rings for so long. We know what kinds of things, weather patterns and climate is only going to influence the gap between the rings. What young Earth creationists try to do is say, well, but the trees can grow multiple rings in 1 year. That is, or it's typically only two. That is only known about in an extremely tiny number of fringe cases. But if you're going to say that, well, the tree ring data goes back tens of thousands of years, but the trees were created mature. So how many rings were the trees created with? There is no answer to that question because you're not explaining to us how you know this. You're just telling us the excuse for how you can preserve your belief in the face of what the evidence is.
I'm saying that when creation began, God created Adam as a man. He didn't create him as a little child. When the tree of life had to have been fully grown for Adam and Eve to eat of the tree of life. There were, I don't think animals started off as like, I don't know, infants. They were fully grown. So I'm saying that if he did these things fully grown, and I think he did the same thing with the universe. I don't think that the universe, I think he created it with density and complexity.
What evidence
So I
of
think-
that do you have?
I just told you, when he created Adam, Adam was not a little baby when Adam was born. He was a man. And
What evidence of that do you have?
The Bible. That's why.
That's
of course
not
I'm-
But the Bible's not
evidence.
good evidence.